Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott wave update for XRP. I'm going to be discussing in detail the way this wave here can finish, this final wave to the downside before we move to the upside. Just to recap, this was my last video, October 23rd last week, before I went away for a couple days. I had a trade setup I suggested, which was the golden zone trade setup, a buy at the 48.78, stop at 46 cents. If we go to today, you can see we sniped right at that level with a wick. That was the 618. I suggested the buy at for myself and the stop at 46 cents, which was the log scale 66 retracement for the golden zone setup. Now I say that was this trade I suggested to myself, and I forgot to press the limit order buy, unfortunately. And I went to Toronto, had a great time otherwise, but ended up watching my Maple Leafs get annihilated 5-3. So that kind of took away the fun of the trip, but otherwise we had a good time. Now, that trip cost me quite a bit of money, because obviously if I was here, I would have limit bought that and been aware of that, but such is life. So take that as a lesson. But if you did take that, congratulations. You should be well in the profit and be doing pretty well on this trade. I am actually in this trade currently, but from much higher levels up in this area. So I'm going to explain to you how I expect this to pan out. I ended up buying the B wave break. If this was a 1 ABC 2, clearly not at the moment. But that's where I ended up buying on the breakout, stop at the previous low. I'm going to explain to you how this can pan out and move to the upside. But if I do lose, that's fine. My plan for this area is to take every one of the potential pivot setups and leverage up every chance I get. Reason being is I believe we're going to all-time highs. I'd love to have as large of a position size as I can for that move. And I'm fine giving away a few percent of my account if it takes me 2 or 3 attempts, because the upside is so much higher than the risk. Again, I only risk 1% per trade. That goes for my leveraging up, but I'll explain to you how I'm doing that as well. Everybody's trading method is different. I believe we're getting an altcoin season soon, so my goals are to get position size rather than winning a couple percent every trade and playing the longer term. So if your goals align with that, that's how I'm doing that. But if they're not, I also give you those alternate setups if that's what you decide to do. One was this one, right? That's one that can be held for a long time. Or you can take the profits you're up in this area and leverage up on breakouts. Okay, so since last video, we were discussing 2 different things. It was either we were going to get some sort of diagonal to complete as a C wave, or another A, B, C to create a Y wave in a complex combination flat pattern. So the reason I decided to take this, hang on before I get into that, just important areas to take note. All these trade setups have the understanding that this E wave has to hold at 38.23. All these counts become invalidated below that level. And if we go out to the daily on our log scale, have this panned out as a multi-year triangle. That's why all our bullish scenarios must hold that level. We're waiting for this trend line to break to the upside, and our expectation is all-time highs. I can't give you those targets right now. We'll get to zone those in as the waves pan out. We're taking this one step at a time. What's going on here? TradingView is slow. That being said, off the E wave low, have this as a 5-wave move to the upside. As you can see, we were tracking this as a flat since this 3-wave pattern. You're welcome to go back and watch those videos if you want. We were expecting this the whole time. As one of our primary counts. We had multiple counts, but this is our primary count. And looking for this drop down to complete this 3-wave move before looking for our third wave to the upside, which should be our largest, fastest moving wave with the most volume if it is a true third. Now, important to note, for our targeting, our A or W off our B or X, we usually look for the 1-to-1 extension, which is at 43.6 on log, 43.8 on linear. So right at that zone. Also, if this does end up being an ABC and I fail on my trade, the 1-to-1 extension of that second ABC is at 43 cents as well. So you can see we have confluence right at that target. So that's where I would look in the future if my trade setup currently fails. Now, the reason I'm taking this long is the potential that this is actually a 5-wave move complete. I will say it is not pretty, very long 4th wave, although it does not invalidate any rules. As you can see, the 3rd wave is not the shortest. We don't have overlap with wave 2. And we do have 5 waves within our 5th. So it does qualify as a finished C wave as an ABC in red. Important to note, I still also target the 618 extension of the A off the B. For my minimum target, you can see we're right in between the 618 and the 1-to-1. So even though we don't get ideal sometimes, we have to be aware that we can pivot from that area. So it's not going to stop me from attempting the trade in case the low is in. Now, if we were to still get a lower C wave rather than a Y wave, just to be clear, the Y wave would be most likely a 5-wave move, something like this, a diagonal down. This would make our ABC. For our Y, that would just grind down slowly, most likely, because we have 5 waves down, which you can see would be our 1 within the wave C of Y. This can also be a double zigzag, depending how you count it. If you go down to the smaller time frames, you can see how that can pan out that way as well. So a very difficult structure to get high probability in, which is why I'm considering the fact that, okay, we have a 5-wave move down in a C wave. We are in the zone we want to be with our golden zone setup. So for me, that's enough to take a shot at it with 1% of my account. Because I would get much smaller position sizing if we start breaking out here and I'm like, okay, I'll take this second too. If we get something like this, it would be very difficult to get the position size I can get in this area if it works out for me. Now, alternatively, this is a 3-wave move, right? Again, this can be our 5th, or this can be our wave A within a 3rd wave in that diagonal situation. So this would be our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so. And we get our diagonal to the downside to finally finish our C wave. But you can see most of these are just grinding down from this point. So I'm just focusing on leveraging up in this situation in case this C wave is complete. So if you agree with that, I'll show you what I'm doing. No clear count at the moment. But what I would expect to happen is something similar pattern to here. As you can see, that was our low previous. We get a quick buy up, reversal, and we grind up and to the right. And that would be indicative of a flat correction where we're moving up and to the right in a wave 2, and we eventually get this explosion out. That's pretty much the only scenario I'm expecting in the situation, and that's how I'm planning on trading this. So my invalidation is literally right here. It's very close. So it either works or it doesn't, which is my favorite type of trades. Now there is a chance, there's always a chance it comes down, takes liquidity, and then goes, but I'll explain next video if that ends up happening, how I'd get back in. I don't expect that. I really don't. I would expect us to just grind up and eventually take off. And the way that would look is as a wave 1 and an ABC for our wave 2, because it looks like 5 waves here. So this would be an A wave as a flat B, C. So this entire pattern is a flat 3, 3, 5. If this is actually a three wave, it's just a WXY. It doesn't change the targeting or the shape of it, right? It's just how you label it. It really doesn't matter. That's one thing that I would suggest not to do, is getting obsessed with these exact counts. If you're new to Elliott wave, it restricts you from taking good trade setups. Always waiting, oh, I need one more wave down, etc. As you can see from our A off our B, we hit the 1-to-1 in time. It has the right look currently, just to grind up and take off. We're within our channel, etc. So I'm looking for that move to take off to the upside. Now, that being said, you can imagine how much more position size I could add if I had gotten in down here, right? I'd have all this profit to add to my position and raise my stop to 1% risk throughout. So my plan is to buy if the market comes back to us up here. Any higher, and this would be invalidated as a B wave. It actually came to the 1.618 extension of this move. So any higher, it would become invalidated. So my plan is exactly like this. Market comes to me. I trigger long here to add to my position above this level. Stop gets raised from this level to this level, and this amount of extra by raising my stop, I add to position size here. And I will do that again as I go up and go up and go up, and keep putting it at invalidations. Hopefully that makes sense to you. But this exact trade setup is completely wrong as soon as we pass this A wave, right? I expect further downside after that. But the fact that a C wave can be complete does not stop me from doing that. But yeah, I was pretty pissed that I forgot to put in that limit order. Very, very pissed. Because my position size right now would probably be triple the size. And that's how important it is. And down the road, when we're talking potentially, multiple dollar XRP, that really matters. It can be tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars if you hold all the way through. That's how important it is at these levels if your goal is position size. So that's where we're at. I currently have 86,000 XRP. I'm trying to get to, I'd like to get to 1 million position size XRP if the waves pan out and follow along the way we would like, but we shall see. We shall see. And if for whatever reason the video's not up in time, if we got another 1-2-1-2, so say I leverage it up here, stop goes here, then we get another 1-2 here, same thing. Waiting for the ABC, leverage up here, stop moves here. So I just keep moving my stop up and taking that extra available margin and adding to my position size. Now, some people are fine with this initial trade setup if you got it, and taking, it was 46 cents, yeah. And say we get to, I'm just saying this for fun, say we get to $2. We'll just say that for fun, okay? Just for fun. Some would be happy with that. That's a good 56-1 if this holds all the way through. But what I would prefer, we'll leave the same target, is to keep leveraging up. So say my average price ends up being somewhere around here, and my stop would be somewhere around here by the third buy. I much prefer a 358-1. So you can see how important that is if your goals are position size. That's a big, big difference, right, on the larger term view. But anyways, I'm just babbling on now. Looking for leveraging up myself here, or looking for either a 5-wave move down from here to complete our Y wave as an ABC, or looking for this to finish as a diagonal for a C wave, one or the other. All right, guys, that's it for XRP. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.